I put on my best shirt. Everything I own's on the dresser. Seems like every time that I'm up, I fall. It's always so much pressure, always so much pain in the morning. Whatever comes my way, I keep going, because I don't wanna lose it. Oh, I already feel so alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. One day I'll be rescued, then I'm gonna rescue you.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much to Emoji J for that beautiful intro. If you guys don't know Emoji J, please go hit him with that favorite. He's an amazing man. Now, if you're wondering what you are tuning into, this is The Road to Life with Tim the Trucker. Today we have two fabulous guests. We have Pitbull Mom, who is actually my real life mother. We also have Coyote Mystic, two great individuals. You guys are going to see them each get in the box individually. I'm going to bring them together around the end of the show. We're going to go ahead and start with Pitbull Mom, though. So, Pitbull Mom, if you would please get in the box. I'm going to
Howdy,
go ahead
howdy.
and make you small too, so that way everybody can see me and you as well. So, everybody, this is Pitbull Mother. She's actually my real
Hi,
life.
guys.
So, please go ahead with the favorite. Don't mind, Mom. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How often do you stream? Where you're from?
Um, I live in Tennessee. I'm originally from Ohio.
Oh, yes, please, no smoking. Again, this is being recorded to be a featured show. So, please, no smoking while in the box. No
Um,
cursing and no drinking as well.
they just took all the fun out of it. Anyway, um, I was introduced to Meet Me about 4 years ago. I've been streaming on and off for about 4 years.
Can you tell us a little bit about when you stream, when we can find you, what your streams are about?
Um, my streams are pretty much open or about anything. I'm there to help anybody that's struggling um, with anxiety, depression, PTSD. Um, I got a soft heart for the vets. I kind of wanted to do something with the veterans, but
Yeah, there's a lot of veterans on the app. There are, and hearts go out to them. We have veteran family members as well, so it's definitely something that we give a lot of respect to them for. So today's topic is going to be about city life versus country life, and if we know much about that, we come from a small city. Um, both of us born and raised. So can you tell us a little bit about what it was like growing up in a city and then moving to the country in Tennessee?
um, I don't know. It has its good points and its bad points. Like the good points of growing up in a city for a kid like back in my day when we grew up. Um, you know, we'd go out. We didn't have to be back until the street lights came on. Um, it wasn't like it is nowadays. Everybody looked out for everybody else's kid. If you did something, they didn't go tell your parents on you. They took care of it themselves. Um, I didn't mind the city until I got older. And then after 38 years of being in the same city, I don't know, it got old. There's a whole world out there and I wanted to explore it.
So can you tell us a little bit about that? growing up? Were you the one that was stuck in the small town city your whole life? What ultimately made you want to get out of the city and explore uh what's the word I'm looking for? It's just something different. What made you want to get out of the city and go see new things?
Honestly, being born and raised in the same town 38 years of your life, it gets old. Um, After your dad got killed in 2009 and then Papa died in 2011, after you graduated, I really didn't have anything holding me back from making a move. So opportunity knocked, and it was if I don't do it now, I probably won't ever do it. So when I asked you guys if you were all on board and everybody was on board, it kind of made it easier to do. Um, I miss some things like I miss the sunrise and the sunset on the lake. Um,
They
I
are very
miss I miss the convenience of the town and everything being like you could walk. I ain't getting out here on these roads and walking. I'll be walking 5 miles before I get anywhere.
yeah. So let's get into a little bit. I want to talk about the cost of the difference between the cost of living. You know, between the city and where you live now and the country. What has been some of the effects it's had on you as far as the cost of living goes?
Um, Less pay wages, like being a certified nursing assistant. I can go back to Ohio and make 20 some dollars an hour, but here in Tennessee, you make anywhere from 8 to maybe 18, 19 if you're lucky, um, an hour. So you get paid less on the jobs, but the cost of living from there to here is cheaper, like housing and food, stuff like that. Rent for places is cheaper. In the city we come from is a tourist attraction, so it caters to the tourist.
Hmm.
Um, if you don't drink and fish, or you're not stationed down at Camp Perry, there's really, you know, the summer people.
Millionaires from Florida. We get a lot of them. Um, so guys, if you're just tuning in, this is the Road to Life show with Tim the Trucker. We have Pitbull Mom as our first guest on the show. We're kind of talking a little bit about the differences between growing up in the city and moving to the country. Both guests we have on today's show has had that conversion in their life at some point. We're just learning a little bit about it, some of the ins and outs, the struggles they went through, some of the things they've had to adapt to in life. We're going to touch up on a little bit of everything. So this is Pitbull Mother. She's also my real life mom. She is a streamer as well. I don't, you've not really been streaming a lot lately. Not as much as
Um,
you, I've noticed.
no, not as much as I used to. It's been a whole different wave of people.
Mhm.
Um, from start 4 years ago till now, like it's all different people. You still have some of your regulars that's still there, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll get back there.
Well, let's get back to the topic. I want to know a little bit about what it was like trying to build that new lifestyle once you made the transition from the city over to the country. Was it kind of easier for you to transition? Was it hard? What were some of the biggest struggles you had during that time?
Um, the transition wasn't hard, but you know, the whole being someplace you're not familiar with, like having to relearn. Like when I go back home, I know where I'm going, even still now today.
Hmm.
You know, I'm I've been here in Tennessee 10 years and I'm still learning my way. So that I think was probably my biggest struggle when I first got here. Not to mention the little amount of wages, like the rate of pay. But other than that, I was ready for a slower pace. I was ready for just ready to kick back and relax, not have that fast go, 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 go.
There is a big difference between the city life and the country life when it comes to that. The country is a little bit more slowed down. Sit on your front porch, drink a cup of coffee, listen to the birds chirp. And when you're in the city, you got people walking down the street all the time, cars driving by, and I,
Constant.
as your son, I can also relate to that too. Looking to see if you're going to get robbed, like Emoji J says. Yeah,
You
in
never
this
know.
in the city life, you never know. You never know what's around the block in the city. Country life, you kind of get to see it coming before it's even there. Um,
You're locked and loaded before it gets to your front door in the country.
hmm So, what are some of the advantages you had in the city that you don't no longer have in the country?
I liked just getting out and walking in general. Um, like a city block. You can't do that down here. Um, like I couldn't believe coming down here. One of the other things was like in Ohio, they didn't have taxes on food. You come down here to Tennessee and they tax your food. So that was something I had to get used to too, because I wasn't used to having to pay taxes on my food at the grocery store, because we didn't have food tax.
That's the
Um,
government for you.
we have a state for income tax. We in Ohio have a state tax that we file every year with our federal. Tennessee does not have a state tax. So the money I pay in state, I don't get back. They just get free money from me.
Right. Yeah, so we've talked a little bit about, the cost of living, you're paying more taxes on food and stuff. So another subject that I want to touch on is the jobs. What is it harder to find a job in the country than it is in the city? What's that like? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Being a female, it was when I first moved down here. Like the guys down here, it seems like Southern guys, I don't know, their mamas raised them to where, they were in the kitchen cooking, whatever. Daddies was out there making a living, making the money. So for a female to come down, I had the landscape business. So coming down here and trying to start up my landscape business, that was a struggle for me because people didn't like the guys didn't want a female down here doing their work.
Hmm.
That was a man's job. Mm, that's not the thing to say to me. Um, so, different, more of a variety of opportunity for jobs in the city as opposed to out in the country.
Right, right. Okay, okay. So it's a little bit harder, not only transitioning into it, but also being a woman, it sounds like, is makes it a little bit harder down south. Them southern boys, they really like to be the man of the house, don't they? Um,
Yeah, buddy.
at this time, I do wanna let everybody know if you're just tuning in, this is the road to life. We have two amazing guests today. We have Pitbull Mom, who's in the box right now, and we have Coyote Mystic coming up. I just want to let you guys know I do see all the gifts being shot up on the screen. I do appreciate them. I'm sorry I cannot appreciate them all individually. But my admins, that's what they're there for. You got Moody Andrew, Emoji J, you got Ellie. You can hit up any of these people. If you're interested in being on the show, they can all hook you up with that. You can even hit up myself. But let's get back into this. I want to know, we've talked about a lot of things so far. I want to know what what was it that really made you want to move to the country to begin with? At what point in your life, what did you finally look back and say, you know what, let's make this change?
I just wanted to go somewhere where nobody, I just wanted to go after 38 years in the same city. I just, like everybody knew everybody. Um, I just wanted a change. Like I wanted something different. I wanted to go, kind of like that saying, I want to go where nobody knows my name. That's what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
Love you too, LR. Um, I just wanted to go and start my life over. Like I already knew what the first 38 years of it was. So why not try something different? Um, when my dad died in 2011, my mom's health took, you know, a turn for the worst. She was struggling, so that made the decision to do the move easier. So,
Okay, okay. You know, it's very relatable in a lot of ways. A lot of people know about us both on the app. We've both had similar losses, so totally something I can relate to. But of course, we already know that. So I just have one more question for you. Um, because you live in the country now, so I want to know what is the biggest thing about the city that you miss? Just like if you could have one thing with you in the country that you had in the city, what would it be?
the ability to take a 5-minute walk to the pier and sit there and watch the boats sail out on the lake.
Hmm. That is very relaxing. Very
Hmm.
relaxing. So, all right, I do appreciate your time for being here. Please stick around as I'm gonna end up bringing you back in the box eventually. Um, but I do appreciate you for being here, opening up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and bring Coyote Mystic up in the box as well. But guys, this is Pitbull Mom. She is actually my real life mother. So please hit her with the favorite, show her some love. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is The Road to Life with your host, Tim the Trucker. Today's topic, we're talking about the diversity of growing up in the city and moving over into the country, what it's like, some of the challenges you've dealt with in life doing so. But thank you again, Mother, for being here. I know it's
Thank
late
you.
there, a little bit early for me over here on the West Coast.
You're
So
3 hours behind me.
3 hours behind you. But if you don't mind, go ahead and put yourself. I don't want to accidentally end my stream. So, all right, all right. And guys, if you're interested in being in the show, you can always hit up my admins. We have Moody. We also have Emoji J here today. You can hit up Ellie Marie the Brad as well. All three of those amazing people can get you booked for the show, get all the information they need from you. All right, and let's bring Coyote up.
Let's get a hand of round of applause for your mom there. That was awesome.
Yeah, she's an amazing woman.
You're a brave man for letting your mom on this app.
She raised me. So, how you doing, man? It's
I'm
been a
doing good.
while since I've seen you. Yeah,
Yeah,
can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm from the Bay Area, but in the Bay Area, the East Bay Peninsula, Northern California, we call that where I was born was called the town. I'm from Oakland. But we have the city, which is San Francisco, and we have BART, which just lines us to everywhere, all the way up to the Altamont. And I lived there for about 24 years of my life. Every summer I'd be somewhere different. I was a troubled kid, got like gangs, got a lot of stuff, a lot of popping stuff. Just so much populace out there. My family moved out towards the valley, the Central Valley of California, and it was much more rural, which is what I think you mean by country. Like everything's half an hour away, everything's miles away from you. We're in a small little pocket town that eventually blew up. A couple exits off the freeway. It was a much different life, but now
Right.
going from a sales background and a tech background, I find myself in this rural area doing more like comedy and doing more bar stuff, entertainment. That's how I got onto the app.
Okay. Okay. All right. Can you tell us a little bit? Thank you for that. I know that's got to be rough. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself as far as a streamer too, before we get into some of the questions I'll have for you? Tell everybody, when they can find you on. I know you've been off the app
So
for
I'm
a
not
little
streaming
bit.
on the app right now. So I do a podcast and I do amateur comedy and I run a rap show. And I just had like a family passing. So I've been off app. I come on app to support my friends and I do a lot of feature shows. You guys can find me hanging out with Gnome, hanging out with 11. Sometimes I hang out with Darian. I do a lot of like features, pop-ups, and I'm in the crowd a lot, but I haven't been streaming myself here. Just the time that it spends is very, very lot. So I went a different way with it. Plus, there's a lot of people here. Too many people. I knew too many people too quick.
Yeah.
So
It's a
little
big
bit.
app.
Yeah. Well, pulling away and reorganizing myself because the app is very it's appy. And I just have an addictive personality, I guess. So I was spending too much time in it. But I still come here for karaoke, poetry. I really love this app because when I first came here, I thought it was something that it wasn't. And what I found out it's a great place with people, community, and there's something for everybody here.
Yes, there really is. It's a big community. There's some amazing people on here. Guys, if you're just tuning in, this is The Road to Life with Tim the Trucker. Today we just got done talking to Pitbull Mom, who's actually my real life mother. Now we're talking to Coyote Mystic, who is a good friend of mine. We know a lot of the same people as well. Guys, if you're interested in being in the show, Emoji J's in the comments, Moody's in the comments, Ellie Marie Brad's in the comments. All three of these people can get you booked for the show. Let you know what I need from you. They're all great people, so please go ahead and hit them with the favorite as well. Make sure you're hitting the favorite button on Coyote Mystic over here also. He's an amazing guy. But let's go ahead and get back on the topic, Coyote.
I got a dog, and I'll often show you my town when I walk her. She don't like the camera.
I bet too. Let's talk a little bit about that. That's one thing that I didn't talk to Pitbull Mom about. Because I know she's a Pitbull owner.
Well, she's
I just lost
part
all
pit.
my comments, but
She's part pit, and then she's also a blackmouth cur, which is a southern hunting dog, and they're not oftenly bred out. She's a crazy girl. I love her, and she's my support animal, and she's my best friend coming out of my divorce with my ex.
okay, nice. So what was it like? Did you have her in the city with you, or is
No, well, I had her in a town, Visalia, which is about like twice the size of Manteca, I guess. So it's like 360 people in Visalia. It's actually pretty big. I got her out there in Visalia. It's in California, but I brought her out here to the country. In the city, we couldn't have dogs because we lived in apartments. So we didn't get dogs until the back end of leaving the Bay Area, and we had to have little dogs. which means there's little dogs in the house right now that are still alive that we were annoyed at because big dogs are
Yes, yes.
awesome.
I
What
know,
about
and
cats?
where I'm from, they had restrictions.
Hmm.
It was it the same there?
Yeah, yeah. Pets weren't allowed.
Yeah.
You had to have deposits for them. There's restrictions. We couldn't hang stuff up. You know, we grew up in a middle class area, coming out from the hood, and my stepfather one day just realized his first $1 million went to rent, and he had no equity, so he bought a house out in the valley, and then we could have all the pets we want. Right now, we have 7 kittens, one mom cat, 4 little dogs, and one big dog.
Okay,
Our house
okay.
is so big, my niece comes over and rides her bicycle in our living room
Nice, nice,
with my mom. They
nice.
both ride the bike in the living room.
Oh man. Well, listen, I'm gonna grab my bike and I'm gonna head right on over there. I'll be with you guys, okay? Um, let's get a little bit back on subject here. What was it? What is one of the things you miss about the city? Because a
Um,
lot of people, I grew up in the city as well, and I've lived in the country, and I got to tell you, man, I'm one of them people that can go back and forth. There's always the things I love about my city, but I love being in the country too. They're very diverse groups of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like surroundings. You can kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
get
yeah.
away with certain things that you can in the city.
I
So
definitely miss the
what's
culture. The culture out there is a lot more quick pace and like bar crawls. Like everything is spaced out here. I live in a place with like 2 bars, and then the rest of the bars are in the next town over. Everything's in the next town over, right?
Mhm.
I definitely miss the like Christmas in the park, downtown. I definitely miss the food and the women and the craziness and the 24 hour, the convenience of it. I don't miss the
Yeah.
prices, the hustle and bustle, the traffic, the just the insanity of bigger cities. And thank God during COVID, I wasn't there because people got sicker easier. Everybody was on top of each other, you know.
hmm Yeah, and I'm not even gonna get into the whole COVID
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
because we could sit here and talk about that for
But just
forever.
for the illness,
Um,
because my father has heart problems, so he was in the 10%. So we would have been very worried if we were still in the city. He used to work
yeah.
in Silicon Valley, so he was doing telecommuting, and it was really good for our family beneficially for him to be out of that situation. When I first came to the country, I hated it. Like everything was far. I needed a car. Like everything was so far. All my jobs were like typecasting me to the back when I was a front end worker, or trying to maybe do stock when I was like a salesman. And there weren't many bars, so there were many chances of women, a lot more old women, not a lot of young women, not a lot of places popping, not a great vibrant mall scene. Um, but real quick, I acclimated to the country because of the fun stuff you can do here.
Oh yeah.
And then you get used to the country life. It's just I came from a very liberal place, and now it's very conservative out here. When I first came to this town, there was more churches than businesses.
hmm And
12 years
that's
ago.
kind of another subject I want to touch on. What has it been like for you as far as the cost of living,
Well, for
growing
me,
up in the city life, and I want to know, are you saving more money? Because everybody says the cost of living in the country is a lot cheaper than it is in the city. So can you tell me about that? Are you saving more money? Is it that much noticeable where you're
um,
saving more
yes and
money in the
no. I mean,
country?
I spend more money at home now, and I spend more money on fast food than I used
hmm
to. Where I had more money opportunities out in the Bay Area. I was making more money. I'm losing more money in the country, but what I'm saving is myself from doing something stupid. Because out there, it's just so much temptation and so much haram. There's just so much like there's always an opportunity for you to mess up out there, and those can be taken very serious. Out here, I just found a community. I can go to the bar on a non-singing night and smoke cigarettes in the bar. I take my dog off leash with no certification to the bar. She hangs out in the bar and outside the bar. People love her. And I go to the bar with no money at all, and I'm like a local celebrity there. That wasn't something in the city. That's something in the country. Country
hmm
folks are real nice and they're real cool. Um, and it's nice to have all the space. We're loud people, so we love like we used to get the cops called on us all the time for having parties, for just having arguments. Like, and the cops are just cops out here a lot more. Cops in the country are different, good
Yeah.
and bad.
Yeah, you get your and like I said, I'm from both. You know, I've lived in this. I grew up in the city, and as I got older, I actually a little bit about me as well is as I got older, still at a young age, I started going to Tennessee and visiting for the summers with my grandmother. And you know, I was kind of raised. I tell people all the time, I was raised in the South, and I was born and raised in the North. So there's a little bit that's I get my Southern hospitality, but also I can be a little bit city, a little city rat too sometimes. You know.
I like how you
Um,
excluded the East. Go Kansas City. I've never been east of the Mason-Dixon line. I just don't do it. There's no reason. 13 colonies, kapupu.
hmm. Yeah, so guys, if you're just tuning in, this is the Road to Life with Tim the Trucker. Today we're talking about city life versus country life. Some of the struggles you've been in going through the conversion. I'm not sure I'm using the right words, but you know,
It's a
going
culture
from
shock.
city life,
Yeah.
going from city life to country life, the struggles you've been in, the things you've had to deal with, you know, that's pretty much what today's show is about. So with that being said, I also want to know what it's like finding a job in the country. Is it a lot harder? Because I know for me, it was always easy. Like my mother had said before, we can walk around the corner, and there's 20 stores right there where we can easily get a job. You know, it's not that easy living in the country. Can you tell us a little bit about what that's like for you?
So when I first came to the country, I got a job holding a sign at Little Caesars. I had a manager background, I had cashier background, I had I had computer background. There are none of those jobs out here. None that I could get because everybody wanted to cast me as a cook, and I wasn't a cook. And but you have to acclimate to your surroundings and learn what is going on there. Eventually, I was able to get jobs out here just as easy, but the pay rate is different. And they did a lot of the 6 hour breakup here, where in the Bay Area you're constantly just getting the 8 hours through. Um, they had less of the corporations I was working for, and less of the things that I did. But I just picked up a new job and a new trade, and I just rolled with it. Became a cook out here, and before I knew it, I was making more out here than I would be out in the Bay Area. I think when I left my
Hmm.
job in 2009, I was making like $20 an hour as a cook at Panda Express within a year. And within a year out here, I could be making almost six figures working at UPS, and I could get into the union and go driver route within a year. So just where you apply yourself, right? Because if I would have stuck with the jobs I had out there, I would never have a job out here. Plus, now I get
Right.
to wear whatever color I want because I don't live in the city no more. So I don't have to worry about that
Yep.
stupid shit. I know the people out here, so I'm sorry, that stupid kind of things. So,
Thank you
like,
for correcting yourself.
and then I also got to learn about truck drivers because I had a job as a truck driver at Joe's Travel Plaza. So I got to meet truck drivers. Y'all crazy. Old Dominion, just all those people, man, and just the way the business was ran. It's the same thing, man. It's just one's slower, one's faster. One's more liberal, one's more conservative, one's more church based, one's more entertainment based. But you still,
Dude.
in California, it's also close that you get all of that within
Hmm.
like 3 hours each way.
And
So I
that's
happen
what
to
a
have
lot
to
of
go
people
all the
don't
time.
understand too is there's a big difference between city life and country life.
Yes.
And you know, the thing about it though, is we're all the same. Everybody, you know, we can all relate to a lot of things.
Not Alaska. I went into
It
Alaska
doesn't
one summer. It was weird. It was weird. It was empty. I saw Russia. No, but no, no. Alaska was a trip, man. Like it was still cold, but it was summertime. Like I would say everything's the same because I've been all around America except for Alaska. That's some other stuff.
Yeah, I've just a little quick side story. I've been to Alaska
I was to
myself,
Anchorage.
you know,
I went to Anchorage.
and it's a little weird out there. It is. Um but again, you know, we got to kind of stay on topic
Sorry.
because we only get so much time. And it's fine. It's fine. It's still a little in topic, you know. But I want to know about some of the things you miss about the city life.
Well,
You
at
said
the
you
end of
grew
the
up on the Bay Area, so
yeah,
just another
Bart.
little follow-up question. You know, I want to know about the things you miss, but also I want to know what were them sunsets and sunrises like out there in the Bay Area? That's one place I've not been to is the Bay Area.
They're nice, but there's a lot of light pollution, so like it's different. Like out here, there's a lot of hues, and we're inside of a valley because we're over the Altamont. But coming in the bay
Mhm.
by the ocean, you have a different outlook. But the BART, man, the BART system was great because we could start off in Fremont at the end of the line, go to Oakland and catch an A's game for like $5, the top end seats, and then go to Del Norte, Richmond, where you have like a bunch of stuff out there. You have a pier. We go sharking. So we spent our whole day starting from one side of the bay, going to the other side of the bay. Only spent about $10 on tickets, and have a great day just doing things that we could do. We could fish a bunch of places, but you had to always worry about the people. You had to worry about neighborhoods. Like I don't have to worry about the neighborhoods I go to. I don't have to worry about
Right.
numbers or don't go to this side of town because this is like more Bible Belt. So you just have to worry about the little bars you go into. It's like, oh, don't go to that establishment. Before it's like, oh, don't go over into that neighborhood.
Yeah, most definitely. And
So it just
that's something.
changed, but the left and right side don't know. They're the same side. They have more commonality than differences. But they
Yes,
look at
yeah,
the differences,
and
and
that's
that's what
something I've
splits them.
noticed as well. That's something you and Pitbull Mom both brought up that I want to touch a little bit when I get both of you guys in the box. I'm gonna go ahead and plug the show, and then I'm gonna ask for Pitbull Mom to request that box again. I'm gonna get you both up in here, let you guys talk a little bit to each other, get to know each other. Both of y'all hit each other with the favorite. Then I'm gonna ask some questions and see what both of you guys think about it is at the same time. If the viewers, if you guys have any questions you want to ask, throw it in the comments.
Why did y'all
I'll
say
bet
pop
them.
out there? That's so weird. I have an aunt from Iowa. She's a truck driver, and she says pop. Don't say that.
Listen,
It's soda.
it depends on what part of the country you're at. I mean,
No, it
it's that whole
doesn't. It's
city
always
life.
soda. It's
Listen,
never pop.
city, it was always pop to me. It was always pop to me growing up
In
in
the
the city. I
city?
went
What
down
city are
south.
you from? No, 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 no.
I
It should always be
I went
soda.
down
Pop should
south
be
and
for
it was
balloons and
soda.
popcorn.
hmm Let's go ahead and get Pitbull
I'm
Mom.
sorry, Andrew. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't want to start talking about New York. I don't have time. How about them Eagles?
All right, guys, if you're just tuning in, this
Hey,
is the road about growing up in the city compared to now living in the country. We have Pitbull Mom and Coyote Mystic as our guests today. Please hit them both with the favorite. They're amazing people. Also, you can hit up Moody Andrew,
And we got
Emoji
Rossi.
J, Ellie Marie the Brat. All of them people can get you plugged into the show, let you know how to be a guest on the show, and make sure you hit them with the favorite as well. Well, welcome back, Pitbull Mom, Coyote. So, is there anything you guys both heard? I want to know this. I want to know the questions you guys have for each other.
So you said I didn't hear where you started off, but you ended up in Tennessee. And now you're in the country part of Tennessee. Like, is that backwoods country or
it's backwards country.
no? Not backwoods, backwoods. Like it's a lot of wooding, right? Because I'm not in a wooded area. I'm in a valley with a river.
Yeah, I live on I own 2 acres. I
Nice.
got cow fields and homes around me.
How long did it take you to get chickens? You got chickens in the first couple of years.
No, I got too many kids and grandkids to have animals.
The grandkids love animals.
You're funny, Moody.
Nice. I don't really know that much about that area. I've been at Tejas, and Tennessee just seems too country for me.
Too country.
Yeah, I've been to Montana. That wasn't too bad. I bucked hay in Montana for a summer.
Listen, you said it's two country. I want to know in California, right? Because as you all know, I'm a truck driver. I've been all over the country. I've been to big cities. I've been middle of nowhere. Fun after Egypt, you know,
BFE.
Amish country,
Amish?
Amish country. Yes, So I've been a little bit of everywhere, and I gotta tell you, man, that the country lifestyle, you get a lot more hospitality from people. You go into a city, you get people who just look at you funny, you know. But if you go into a
They won't
city and you
even
look
hold a
like you
door
lost,
open.
if you go into a city and you look like you lost, nobody blinks an eye at you. You go to the country and you look like a lost puppy, and you're gonna have 3 or 4 people coming up to you, being like, "Hey, buddy, you lost? You need some help?" You know. So it's definitely a lot more hospitality in the country lifestyle. I will give it that. Um,
I'll agree
but I
with
want to
that
go ahead.
because
Go ahead. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say I would agree with the hospitality. I took the Camaro yesterday down to the gas station to put air in the tire. There's this old man down there, probably in his late 60s. I pull up to the air tank and he pulls in front of me and he was like, "You need some help there, darling?" I said, "No, man, I'm okay. I appreciate it though." I said, "I'm just gonna put some air in my tires a little low." He goes back to his truck and comes out with one of them kits that you plug into the cigarette lighter that pumps it up. Told me all about it.
Hmm.
Told me I needed to invest in one. He stayed there and talked to me until I put air in my tires. But anyway,
That's nice. Yeah, you don't have time for that in the Bay. I'm in California, so everything's uniquely California. So it was kind of backwards for us. Like in the Bay Area, you don't look at people, you don't stare at people because that invites. First of all, you don't care about them, and you got your own stuff going on. Second of all, that invites issues because like challenging out here, all they did was stare at people. Like if you're not from this area,
Hmm.
they're just out there, all in their garage or all in front of their house, just staring. Like everybody's just staring at you. Like why are you staring at us?
they do a lot of front porch sitting down here.
A whole lot of front. Like don't y'all got houses, AC? Go inside your home. Nope, nope. Right
uh,
outside, right out here. We're burning stuff. We're just gonna watch you. What are you doing?
They are.
all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and plug this show one more time. If you're just tuning in, this is the Road to Life with Tim the Trucker. We have the beautiful Pitbull Mom and the handsome Coyote Mystic as our guest
Ow.
today. Hit them both with a favorite, please, guys. They're both amazing people. Both are streamers. Neither one of them stream a whole lot, but I'm sure this might change in the future. You never know. Also, if you're interested in being on the show, you can always hit up Emoji J, Moody Andrew, Ellie Marie the Brat. They're all in the comments. You'll see them. You know, right there's Moody. Hit them up. They'll tell you the best way to be on the show, the things that we're looking for in you. Um, but let's go ahead and get back into it, guys. I want to know the difference because both of you guys come from both of you live in the country, one, but you're on different sides of the world right now. Pretty much different sides of the country. So I want to know what it's like. What it's like for you, Coyote, living in the country in California, and you, Pitbull Mom, living in the country in Tennessee. What do you guys think are some of the differences that you have in that aspect of it? You know, you got one person on this side on West Coast and one person on the East Coast. Both live in the country.
I think being in California makes it very easy to migrate one way or another because you could live in the country but still drive to the city and you could just commute. And also, it's just like the opportunities out here. Like even though I'm more in the country now, Tesla came out this way. Amazon started building a bunch of Amazons. There are tons of jobs out here. No, they're not the jobs that you want like as a career, but there's tons of jobs. The populace is in here, but I do like all the extra free space. She's got land. We bought more house than land. We wanted to get more, like we wanted to get a couple acres, but instead we got a really big house with the 1 acre. But the house is just immaculate, which you can afford in the country opposed to the city. But then you're out of the city. We were glad that most of our family moved this way because we were ahead of the trend. Well, because then we have to drive back to the city and see them. Christmas becomes difficult because of traffic. They're like, I don't want to see you guys no more. But you can't do it to your family, so you have to drive. We're glad all my ex-girlfriend, like my first girlfriend, my best friend, everybody like just basically moved out here.
Right. And I
Bay Area got
know,
really crazy.
and I can kind of answer this for Pitbull Mom as well, you know, because kind of we kind of lived together for a moment. But you know, it is a drive out there. So I want to know, what's how long does it take you to get to the nearest city for you, Coyote?
Stockton would be our biggest city, and that's about 15 minutes away. And then we're 45 minutes away from the Bay Area, but we have to go over the Altamont. So once we hit over Altamont, you're like in Livermore, which is more suburban, and you start getting towards Oakland and the bigger cities going on the roads. There's less freeways, and out here there's a lot of open space. There's like a lot of nothing out here, like Turlock and then Stockton, and there's a bunch of little things in between.
Right. I've been to Stockton a few times, actually.
Yeah, I'm right there by the Crow's Nest in Lathrop before Tracy
Hmm.
off the five.
Yeah, right off the five.
Oh, that's a
Uh,
horrible trucking road. I took that all the way down to Fresno one time. Biggest mistake of my life.
yep, yep. So Pitbull Mom, can you tell us a little bit about, how long does it take you to get to the city?
It takes me probably about 25, 30 minutes to get into the city, and it depends on which city I'm going to. If I want to go to a bigger city where there's more shopping available, then it's probably about a 40-minute to an hour drive.
Okay, okay. So yeah, and I think the biggest city you got there is Kingsport, and that's about a
Mm,
what? A
What
I'd
about
say
Nashville?
Bristol.
Isn't
I'd say
Nashville or
Bristol.
so
Bronson, right? For
well
Tennessee?
the do what?
Nashville or
What's the
Bronson?
I'm saying to where we live,
Oh,
the closest city to us, the closest known city to us would
Kingsport?
be Kingsport, Tennessee. And then we also have Johnson City, which is about a half hour, 40-minute drive. And then
Bristol.
Knoxville. Knoxville would be the biggest city we have close to us,
That's
which
an
is
hour
about
and
an hour
45
and a
minute
half.
drive.
wow.
Hour and a half, yeah.
Hour 45 minutes
Actually,
from where I'm at. I end up in the country, up in Yuba, up in the mountains. Yeah.
yeah, yep,
I got
yep.
San Francisco an hour away, Oakland 45 minutes away, and Fremont about 45 minutes away. Going back down south, and if I go more up north, you know, I don't know what goes up north. I don't go up north that much.
Mhm.
Speaking of the
So I want to
mountains,
ask.
Coyote, that's one of the things I love about Tennessee is the mountains.
I hate the fog. I live next to Lindsay, and it's right there on the mountain range. So much fog, so many orchards. It was creepy.
Mhm.
The fog is so thick coming off the mountain, and it's so chilly. It was very pretty.
Hmm.
It's something I love. I mean, when I'm driving down the road and I'm in the mountains, that fog, a lot of people don't like it, but I sit a lot higher up, so it's easier for me to see through it, but I love it. I love it. I think it's beautiful.
Some
But
people
let's
like the
let's
some
stay a
people
little
like the
bit.
snow. Like I don't like the
Listen,
snow
I
either.
love the snow too, but I want to at this time I want to ask the viewers, are there any questions that you guys have for these two individuals? Something you
Yeah,
may be
what's the
wondering
traffic
about the
difference
city
and
life,
language
or
difference?
something about the Coyote just messed me up. You're good though. You know, pretty much if there's any questions you guys as the viewers have, please write it in there.
We got two questions for Moody. The language difference and the traffic difference. For me, I came from a predominantly Sikh area where there was multi-languages spoken, Cantonese, Mandarin, Punjabi, Farsi, and Spanish. And then coming out here to the valley, it's basically just Spanish and Hindi.
Hmm.
So that was very different. I think we
I
go
got
to
Northern and I got Yankee and I got Southern and I got Hillbilly. So, I mean,
the traffic for us, the Bay Area, it would take 45 minutes to get from one side of Fremont to the other. Out here in the valley, 45 minutes, I can be at any Indian casino.
yeehaw.
Almost any Indian casino, I could be there within 45 minutes. So, yeah. But 45 minutes might be how long I need to drive to actually get somewhere I need to go.
Yeah. Yep. And that's another thing about it. Growing up in the country, it's a much longer commute to get anywhere. Anywhere.
I hate it.
But 5 minutes, start to wrap it up. Moody, I know.
I get you on the sidewalk thing too. I really can't walk out here or ride my bike because there's no sidewalks in my part of town. They didn't want to pay for it, so they voted it down in a tax thing. No sidewalks.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the Golden Gate State? Oh yeah, I've been to the Warrior Games. Been to the Oracle. Grew up in Candlestick, ATM Park now, or AT&T Park. Yeah, we do everything. Anything that the BART line would touch, we were there. You know, Baywood,
Yeah.
Bayfair, like go to Antioch and fish off the pier, go sharking. We couldn't get to
So
the
yeah,
beach, though.
let's kind of stay on topic, Mr. Gary. If you have any sports questions or anything like that, you're more than welcome to ask after the show. We got a topic that we kind of have to stick to. You know, we got about 4 more minutes left. I want to
Sorry.
get a few more questions in. Like Moody said, here's a good question as well. In the country, do you guys have a lot more grass than sidewalks, or are you, because I've been to some country areas where they still have sidewalks and stuff, you know, side roads where you can walk down. You know, what is it like here in California?
Railroad tracks is everywhere. So I grew up by the railroad tracks in the Bay Area, and I'm by the railroad tracks in the country. There's a lot more grass and sidewalks out here, but the railroad area has less people around it. So I can take my dog out there
Yeah.
and she just runs for miles.
So let me ask you this: is it because I know where I grew up in the city, it's illegal to be on the railroad tracks. So is
Um,
that a law that California has? Because I know
so California has these weird rules about their city stuff, and it's not illegal to be on the track. It's illegal to live on the tracks, but you can walk up and down the tracks. We have train hoppers and things like that. So as a
Mhm.
kid, I literally grew up playing around the tracks. That's where like bums would be and stuff, and we'd go out there and like shoot birds or salamanders or be in the creek messing with like crawdads or frogs.
Yeah. Yep. And that's something different because, like I said, where we're from, if you get caught on the tracks, you're getting arrested. It's a federal law, they say. So you're not supposed to be up there. Uh, They say federal. I'm thinking everywhere. So I don't know. Maybe California just doesn't abide by that law.
Well, it's federal over here too, but it's just they're not going to come and harass us because they have like actual stuff to do. See, when cops don't have nothing to do, they can roll up on you and go, "Hey, you can't be here. You're in trouble." But when cops like have crimes and people and like a populace, they got things to do. They're not going to be messing with kids on the railroad tracks.
Hmm.
Moody, real fast, I'm going to answer your question. In Ohio, yes, we did.
Have co-trains, yeah.
I have
Yep.
no idea. I
So
like
guys,
Coltrane.
yeah, we're at the end of the hour now. So if you're just tuning in, this is the Road to Life with Tim the Trucker. We're just coming into our last couple minutes of the show. We have the wonderful Pitbull Mom, the handsome Coyote Mystic. Today's topic was, you know, about city life between country life. Some of the struggles you went through converting over to the country life, I guess is the word to use. Um, But I want to go ahead and ask you guys to plug yourselves in. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, when we can find you live, if we're ever going to find you live, what you're all about, pretty much. Just one last time.
Would you like to go first, Pitbull Mom?
Sure. I'm Pitbull Mom. I stream on the weekends. Sometimes I stream in the evening time. I don't have a set time to stream. I just jump on when I feel the need. I welcome any topics in my stream, but I'm there to help people with anxiety, PTSD, depression, eating disorders, whatever it may be. I'm there to talk, listen, whatever you need.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. So if you guys have any problems, feel free to go hit up Pitbull Mom. She loves to talk about that. What about you, Coyote?
Hey, I'm Coyote Mystic. I go by Coyote Joe. I'm an amateur comedian and podcaster here in California. And you can look up my profile and check my Insta out where I do most of my comedy and my remixing. I got a Rumble podcast, but it's not official yet, so I don't post it. And you can find me on this site. If you ever find me on this site, you're welcome to come say what's up to me. I do stream, but I have been on a lot of streamer shows. I hang out with a lot of the streamers and I help them with their content. So I'm just getting back to the app. I've been having some personal stuff in my family. So I'm glad to be back on the app. I'm glad to see Tim's got a show. Nice, Timmy.
Yeah, yeah, I'm working on it. It's working on it. It's still a lot of nerves.
All right.
But at this time, I want to say thank you guys so much for being on the show. I very much appreciate it. You guys,
Thank you for having us.
I know it's midnight where you're at. I'm on the East
about
Coast, so
Rocky?
I got it a little bit easier. It was only 9 p.m. It's going on 10 p.m. now. Coyote, same thing with you. It's only 10 p.m. So we got it a little bit easier. But I do appreciate you guys for being here. At this time, I also want to go ahead and say a big shout out to my top gifters of the stream. We're just going to do the top 5. Number 5 coming in is Vampy. And then we got our 4th top gifter coming in, Moody Andrews. He's also an admin, guys. You can always hit him up if you want to be on the show.
Yay, Moody.
Number 3, we got Ann. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to you guys. Again, coming in the 2nd, we got That Jenny's Tasty Cakes, who is also known as Boss Bro on the app. He is a top badge. Please make sure he also has a featured show. Please make sure you hit him with the favorite as well. And then we got the beautiful LR1111, who is an amazing person all
love
around.
you.
My bad, Timmy. I didn't even gift you. I thought you were a baller. I just gave your mom a present.
Nah, it's
did you
all right.
give him
It's all
first?
right. Boss Bro for Top Edge. Guys, that includes the show. I appreciate you guys for being here. I'm going to go ahead and do a restart on the show. So